What's happening, everybody? What we're doing today is we're going to do a simple installation of the Flushmaster along with our plumbing kit. This customer was one of those that was using the Flushmaster Quick Connects on his Yamahas, but as you can see here, this is a prime example of a candidate that would be perfect for a Flushmaster. He's currently using our Flushport Quick Connects on the end of his hose and then attach and attach. So what we're going to do today is install the Flushmaster right about this area. He's already got an existing water source, so it's just going to be introducing the Flushmaster here, cut it off here, put the plumbing kit in, and it'll be done. Once this is plumbed up and installed, this is going to be a relatively easy installation because the water source is already here close to the back of the boat. So it's just a simple cut off, install the plumbing kit, reinstall, turn the water back on, and the Flushmaster is ready to use. So here's where we're going to start. The Flushmaster, when you purchase the Flushmaster, this is our number one SKU. It's the 2-port 12-foot hose length, and 12-foot hose typically is plenty long enough for an application like this. The water source close to the transom, 12 feet is typically long enough to get to the outboard side. So when you open your Flushmaster, the Flushmaster comes with everything that you need to use and install this except water. So let's go ahead and open up the box. As you'll see, when you open up the box, we have the Flushmaster and the associated length hoses. Inside is the Flushmaster unit. You have the hose fittings, the nylon barbs, and the hose clamp covers. You have 12-foot hoses or whatever hose length you actually ordered. But 12 foot typically are our number one SKU for the 2-port. And this customer's already got the Yamaha Flushport Quick Connects installed on his Yamahas. So, included in the Flushmaster, when you unbox the Flushmaster unit itself, you'll find a thank you card because we really appreciate your business. The instructions for the 2-outlet, and our user guide. You'll see that the Flushmaster comes with a screwdriver, 3 AA batteries, and the Flushmaster unit itself. You'll see the Flushmaster comes with this protective film that you should take off at the beginning of each or when you install the unit or start to use it. It simply attaches to a water hose if you want to use it portably, or in this application, we're going to attach it to and hard plumb it to our PVC pipe once we install it on the dock. If you turn the unit over, you'll see that it has a battery compartment on the back sealed with 6 screws. And you'll see once you open this battery compartment, you'll see that it's sealed with another O-ring on the inside. The Flushmaster is IP67 rated, which means it's water resistant to 10 feet deep. So once you install the batteries, turn to make sure the unit comes on. Make sure you have the batteries installed correctly. Go ahead and reinstall the battery cover. The screws actually have a brass insert, so you don't have to worry about stripping these screws as you tighten them. The Flushmaster comes pre-programmed for 15 minutes for 2 cycles. This is the 2-port for singles and twins. But if we were going to use, if this was a single engine boat, in order to use this as a single engine, simply press set and hold, and you'll see down the number of motors will change. So right now it's programming motor 1, but I'm going to take motor 2 out of operation. So I'm going to take it down to 0 minutes, and you'll see how the motor comes out of operation. Once it's set like this, now this unit is going to operate for a single unit for 15 minutes of duration. It's going to stay like this configuration until I either change the batteries after a boating season or about a year, or hit the hard factory reset or press and hold. You'll see that it brings back both motors to 15 minutes apiece. So once you unbox your hoses, they tend to have a memory. So if you want to take them and just kind of stretch them out, they tend to lose that memory, so they're a little bit more pliable to work with. Included in your Flushmaster box, you'll see a nylon clamp or a nylon hose bib and the hose clamp with a decorative cover. You need to put the hose clamp on first, then the nylon bib. Once you have the hose clamp with decorative cover and the nylon bib inserted into the hose, you can use the included screwdriver to tighten the hose clamp. The other end, put the decorative hose clamp on first, and then onto the Flushmaster. Here's a tip for you. Once you insert the hose on, if you rotate it back, so the screw's on the back side, therefore you don't see the head of the screw. And I'm going to repeat on the other hose as well. This is an EDPM hose. This is the same type of plumbing that's inside your engine. It's UV resistant. It won't mar or scuff the boat over time. It stays supple. It won't get brittle over time in the harsh sun. So that's one of the main reasons why we use this. The diameter of the hose is a 1/2 inch hose. The internal plumbing on most outboard engines is 3/8 of an inch, but we want to make sure that we have adequate flow to each engine during the flushing cycle. So again, install that onto the bib of the Flushmaster. Turn it so that the hose clamp is on the back side, so when you're installed, you don't see the hose or the hose clamp itself. You'll see that these nylon bibs are threaded just like a hose would be. So you can use the Flushmaster independently of the Flushmaster Quick Connects, and you can use the Quick Connects independently of the Flushmaster. But when paired together, it's a complete system. So now that we have our hoses installed, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and install the plumbing kit where the original plumbing on the dock is. So now that we have the Flushmaster put together and ready to install, what I want to do now is go ahead and cut this existing water supply. I've gone ahead and turned the water off to the dock. But as you see right here, you know, he's been using this spigot for both his washdown and for everything else. So with our plumbing kit, he won't lose the use of that spigot by installing the Flushmaster. And here's a quick tip for you. I don't know if you can see this real well, but these are two dissimilar metals. And if you were to leave, this will probably come on. That one actually came off pretty well, but you see how grimy that is? If you were to leave that on long term, this will actually corrode and bond together where you wouldn't be able to get this off. The same thing's true on the Flushmaster throat as well. It's got a brass insert. So two dissimilar metals, if you were to install the Flushmaster directly to the faucet, there would over time become galvanic corrosion. So we encourage you to use pipe tape to inhibit that. So when you purchase the plumbing kit, you'll see that in this application, I want to leave his hose nozzle about the same height that it was. So I'm going to cut it off somewhere in here and reinstall. So now that I have a good idea or a general idea of where I want to cut this off and reinstall our plumbing kit, go ahead and just use a pair of PVC cutters to simply cut that pipe off where you want it. I'm going to go ahead and put our reducer, because this is a 1/2 inch supply line. Our plumbing kit's a 3/4 inch supply line, so make sure that goes on right. Get it both sides, both the pipe and the coupling. Make sure it's seated good. Here's where you got to be considerate of how you want the supply line to line up, right? So I'm going to run it just behind that guy, but it's got to be offset just a hair. Just going to kind of see where that sits. Now you remember this offsets here, so the Flushmaster sits plumb on the piling. So if you go ahead and put the Flushmaster on the plumbing kit, it's kind of a tip and trick, kind of that way you know the angle that you need to put it in. So you see how this has to sit off so the Flushmaster sits plumb. See what I'm saying? Okay. So we know we want the Flushmaster right about there, and that's going to come off at about this angle. Primer on. Yep, just primer on the coupling. Make sure you got enough cement on the pipe. A little bit in there. All right. That's about right. So And if you remember, in our plumbing kit, we had 2 pipe straps. So I'm going to strap it up here, and I'm going to put another one here. So now that I have the plumbing kit installed onto their existing line, here's a tip for you. Use stainless steel hardware when you reinstall the plumbing kit or the pipe straps. So now that the plumbing kit's been installed, simply thread on the Flushmaster kit or the Flushmaster unit onto the pipe, and we'll put a screw at the top of the head, and the installation is complete. So once you have the Flushmaster installed onto the pipe, simply to finish the installation, put 1 screw on the top, and your installation is complete. Remember I was talking about galvanic corrosion between 2 dissimilar metals. So in our plumbing kit, you'll see that we do provide some pipe tape. It's recommended that you use pipe tape to keep the 2 dissimilar metals from touching. This will help inhibit that galvanic corrosion, so you may be able to use that again. Installation's complete. So in this application, this customer had the single water nozzle or water faucet here, and what we've done is we cut his supply line and installed our piling plumbing kit to install the Flushmaster. Couple features to announce on the piling kit: you have a 3/4 inch quarter turn nozzle or outlet valve, and you also have a shutoff valve. The shutoff valve is here on the supply side of the Flushmaster, so in the event that this customer wants to take the boat over to the Bahamas or go traveling somewhere with it, he can unscrew the Flushmaster from the bottom of the pipe and take it with him portably and still have use of his water hose on the dock. So now that this customer's got the Flushmaster installed and hard plumbed to his dock, once he comes in and puts the boat up on the lift, it's simply reaching over, grabbing the hoses, and with 1-hand operation, no more screwing around trying to find that thing. So once you have the Flushmaster quick connects connected to the engines, it's simply turn the unit on and press start. The Flushmaster will flush each engine in sequence 1 at a time for the amount of time you have prescribed for the unit to use. Once each engine's been cycled through and flushed adequately, the system shuts off. It's a 140 PSI shutoff valve, so you don't have to come back to the boat to unplug these things when it's done. Simply start, and that task is done. What we've done is we've taken the single outlet nozzle off of his existing plumbing, installed our plumbing kit, installed the Flushmaster with the Flushport Quick Connects. So now when this customer comes back to the dock after a day of use, or even just a afternoon cruise with his family, he doesn't have to wash the entire boat, but he's got to flush the engines. Now he can just simply reach over to the side of the boat, grab the hoses, 1-hand connection to each of the motors with the Flushport Quick Connects, press on and start. That task is now complete. He can think about every other thing that he's got to do to get the boat done and ready to be put up.